Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit, and any moment now our drivers will take to the track and the Bahrain Grand Prix can begin. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix.
Good evening, race fans. Pirate, I am back. This is Black Flag Racing TV. We have just finished, as you have just seen, with smoking Pirellis, and now it's time for more F1 action with late night racing F1, and we are at the iconic French racetrack in Bahrain. I'm only joking. That's an in-joke. For some reason I thought we were racing in France today. But to be fair, I had done pretty much everything for Bahrain, bar the thumbnail. Everything else said Bahrain, just, I don't know, I got mixed up. But anyway, last week, where were we? That's where we were. Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Yeehaw, baby. Yeehaw. And this is how it looks after that race. And that is the correct table, because that's the table I'm currently looking at on Discord, unless they change something. Don't even try it. Dunners, the reigning champion, double reigning champion, leads the way. 127 points over Danny for McLaren. Wolsey in third, some way back already, starting outside the 100 point mark for Wolsey. Riley in fourth, Mad Max in fifth, Reflection in the top six, Ryan and Friendly Dutch, then Blumchump, then Connor round out that top 10. Joint on 50 points, Blumchump and Connor at the moment. Constructors looks a little bit like this. McLaren leading the way. Mad Max and Danny put in some great performances to put them on 190 points. Dunners and Error in the Ferrari, 172. And AlphaTauri are 146. And in the AlphaTauri we've got Friendly Dutch and his teammate, who I can't remember offhand. Williams in third. Fourth is Red Bull. Aston Martin, some serious points deficit there. Got some work to do, boy. Some work to do. Yes, indeed they have. So, there we go. That's what you need to know about where we were. This is where we are. For some reason, we are starting late. People are starting to check in now, though. So, it's Bahrain for the Bahrain International Circuit. Qualifying 18 minutes. We will then follow that with 14 laps of racing. And then we will have a very short break. And then we will have 28 laps of glorious racing to follow up. So short race, long race, short race, long race. The 14 laps will obviously decide. Top 10 will be reversed for the long feature race following that. Bahrain's always good for overtaking. It's always good for thrills and spills and a little bit of action. So looking forward to seeing just how well everyone performs there at Bahrain. And we'll What is going on? Ah, wrong thing. I was trying to fix something very minor and realised I couldn't fix it. And then I realised I was actually not fixing the correct thing. Sorted. Right, there we go. So we're loading in now. I'll wait to see how we get on with qualifying. I did promise I'd have a new car over for 2 people today, but I don't. And I do have this new thing though, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, so we've got obviously Error, we've got Dunners, we've got Fingers, we've got Rally, we've got Wolsey, we've got Drew Camp. I didn't have time to do 2 more today. I've been busy, innit? I've got a full-time job working. This shit, do. You'll note that my voice has returned. Yeah, oh mate, it was awful. I mean, it wasn't great last Tuesday when I did this. Wednesday, I didn't have anything on Wednesday until late, 11:30 at night, when I did the High Pre GR1 challenge. Halfway through that, mass internet disconnection, internet switched itself off, and my throat was feeling rough as really badly then throughout that particular race. And then, I don't know what happened, but throughout the night it just got really, really bad. And then I found myself, in the morning I couldn't speak. Thursday morning, I couldn't say a word. So I had to cry off some broadcasting for Thursday and Friday, purely because I had to spend this weekend doing a number of world championships. Actually, we had 9.5 hours of, nearly 10 hours of broadcasting over the weekend in various world championships, which Black Flag performed incredibly well, particularly in Fusion, 13 podiums and 3 wins across the world championship weekend. For GTFusion. Do you like that little squeak? That's new. That's my new squeak. While my throat is sorting itself out. I am on the mend, of course, but it's still not brilliant. And on top of that, I've got a bad back. Oh yeah. Don't be me, but don't get old, people. That's the problem. That's the crux of it. Don't get old. Right. So. Shall we do an outlap shall we go on board? Let's go on board with Fingers. He can't possibly crash that many times, can he? So, BAHRAIN, as we know, very tricky circuit to get right. It's got some really, really fast corners. This here is a difficult braking zone, particularly if you've got cold tyres. You need to be just a little bit careful getting on the power. Make sure your car is straight before you do so. And certainly try to stop that back end coming round on itself. Another difficult corner here. This is your second of 3 DRS zones here at BAHRAIN. Third, of course, being technically the first, is the one that goes across the start-finish line. Depends on how you look at it. I suppose if you count from where it starts, it's the second. If you count from where it ends, it's the third DRS zone. So here it comes. You sweep round to the right-hand side. You've got a long drag race down to the final corner. There's your DRS detection zone. I'll show you as you go through it. Right there, that's your DRS detection for this new zone coming up here on the power. And here we go. Hot lap at BAHRAIN, courtesy of Fingers himself. Across the line he goes and the lap begins. You head into turn 1. You stay on that right hand side 50 metres, we'll get on those brakes. Early turning, clip the apex. Then you are careful on the power because you're immediately sweeping around to that left hand side. Then DRS zone number 2 on that, or number 1. On the power you go down into this kind of, and it's like an S section coming up here now, where you sweep around. It's left and then right and then left again. You can pretty much power through from this point. Use all the racetrack. Down here into the braking zone. He's purple at the moment. He's purple. I would have thought Fingers would be purple at any other time other than when he was being strangled. But there we go. Another big braking zone here. Ready for the DRS. Cross that DRS line. Beep. Click that button. Get the rear wing open just like that in the Mercedes-Benz. Head down. Getting 50 metre board. Touch those brakes. Get it changed down 4th gear. Use the power to drift around that corner. And again, to the right hand side here, careful coming around here that you don't overcook it and lose the rear end. Moggy going on pole with a 1:29.6. Harley joining him on that front row. Harley looking pretty racy at the moment in this championship. Heading down towards the final turn. On the power again he goes. What is he giving us as a lap time? Is it good? DRS open, cross the line goes fingers, and that is a 1:31.474. He's done worse. That's alright. That's alright. So here we go. So far, 5 minutes into qualifying, Moggy leads the way with a 29.6. Harley in second, joins him in the front row. He's on a 29.7. Only 1/100th of a second separate those two. Lutvert is on row 2 with Friendly Dutch, 29.8 and a 30.2 respectively. Mental Dave and Mr. J on row 3, 30.3 and 31.2. Fingers 31.4. Wolsey joins him on row 4 with that 31.6. The Hunter in the Alfa Romeo is 32.6. He's joined by Riley with a 39.3. They're both busted down by who was that? Those just busted them down. That was Error with a 30.5. That's a good lap from Error. Very good lap from Error. And Beckien, who's that? Is that Fingers? That is indeed Fingers in the wrong direction. And Beckien with 45.6. He's got some work to do there. How you doing, BC Games? You doing good, mate? Hope you're enjoying the festivities this evening. So, waiting for Ryan, Danny, Cameron, Connor and Dunners to set a nice hot representative lap for us. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? They could all put in a good, nice early lap for us. It's not going to be raining tonight, it's in Bahrain. It never fucking rains in Bahrain. Excuse me, it's literally in the middle of the fucking desert. It's not going to rain in the slightest. My dog just had a brain fart. For those of you who may or may not be interested, Darren might be, because Darren obviously knows him. Dylan is now the, or one of, well, his team are, the UK University Rocket League champions. They won that last night. I'm going to fight one of the drivers who got kicked out. He probably shouldn't have done that, mate. I missed it. I might have to look back for the Discord now and see what happened. Naughty. Yeah, he's now the, or his team are the UK University Rocket League champions. They got a nice cash prize. Brought a new sponsor that paid them £400 a month, and move on to the European Masters competition, which comes up after Easter. He's returning to Insomnia over the Easter weekend, where he and his team were runners-up in the Rocket League tournament there last year, and he's hoping to do one better this year and take the crown. We will see. Yeah, he's doing good guns at the minute. Proper gamer. Getting paid for it and shit. Which is kind of what you want, isn't it? Right? Yeah, I think so. Right, so, wait for Danny, Connor and Dunner still to set a lap. This is how we look so far. So, Moggy and Harley on the front row. Lutvent and Friendly Dutch on row 2. Mad Max and Riley on row 3. Error and Cameron on row 4. Mr. J and Fingers are not on row 5 anymore because someone's just put themselves higher up that order. Who was it? Ryan. Well, Ryan's up there with Mad Max row 3. Row 4, Riley and Dunners, Error and Cameron on row 5. Mr. J and Fingers on row 6. Wolsey and The Hunter are on row 7. Becken on row 8. With possibly Daddy or Connor. We don't know which one yet. Looking forward to it. Yeah, so essentially we've got... I'd always wanted to do like a 14 lap and then you do like a 50% race. Why not just do 100% race? Does anyone actually do that online? There must be some people out there that do full 100% races. Right? You would have thought so. So, halfway through qualifying thus far, 9 minutes left to go. So, still plenty of time for people to get another good solid hot lap on the board. Good opportunity coming up for that. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to have another look at the leaderboard. Let's do that. Let's go back and have another quick look at the current leaderboard, because it's there, isn't it? So that's how it looks at the moment. So where is Dunners? Dunners is currently sitting 8th on the grid. He's currently leading the way from Danny. And interestingly, Harley, who usually is pretty darn quick, is outside that top 10 at the moment. So Harley, sitting 12th in the league, is 2nd on the grid. Moggy, currently outside the top 10 as well. 16th is where Moggy sits at the moment. He's on pole. Well, not anymore, because Crazy Dave, 5th in the championship, is now on pole position. Knocks Moggy down to 2nd. Lutivent, currently 11th on the championship table, is at the moment on row 2. So quite a few of the guys outside that top 10 have put in good, solid representative times. In fact, out of those inside the top 5, so far only Mad Max, who is currently 5th, and Dunners, I think that's it. Oh, and Riley. So those 5 out of the top 5, those 3 out of the top 5 are the only ones out of the top 5 in the top 10 at the moment. So still plenty for to play for. You alright, babes? You alright?
Yeah, I don't feel great.
You were breathing funny. Is it belly? So basically, there is a couple of opportunities left for everybody to put in a hot lap. Danny and Connor still need to put something on the board. Nothing on the board for them yet. Although Danny now on his out lap, so he's coming into sector 2, just getting those tyres and brakes warmed up. Interestingly, I thought for a minute he was on the medium tyres, but he's not. So Mad Max on pole with Moggy, 29.4 for Mad Max, 29.6 for Moggy. Harley now busted down to the second row with Lutivent. Friendly Dutch and Ryan on row 3. Riley and Dunners separated by just 9 hundredths of a second on row 4. As Moggy puts himself on pole with a 29.3, starting to ramp up those times. Fingers and Error round out that top 10 on row 5. Cameron and Becken on row 6. Row 7, Mr. J and Wolsey. The Hunter and Danny on row 7. Row 8 currently Connor, but Danny and Connor still yet to set a time. So here comes Danny. He's now on his hot lap. Just started into turn 1 he goes. And can he set a solid time here? Heading down through the first DRS zone. That wing will be open, of course it will, in that McLaren. Getting it turned in nice and early on the power. He goes sweeping around to this left-hand side. Just a little lift for the right-hander before you're back on the power again, heading down to the first real big braking zone since turn 1. So careful coming out of there, so careful. Heads down on the brakes. You have to be so careful not to go wide there before you get on the power. And I don't know who that is. That's an Aston Martin just getting off the racing line. You see the car behind is going very, very quickly. Does the right thing and gets off that racing line as they bring the car home to the pits. So swooping round into sector 3 we go. Not seeing purple. That's what he needs to be seeing. He needs to be seeing purple, but not seeing it at the moment. He's green though, which is good for him. But it would be because he can't. He can only go faster than his current lap time because he hasn't got one. Head down, DRS open, boom. Cross the line, and that is a what? That's 3rd, so just behind his teammate at 29.6. Listen, that's a decent lap time. Very decent. It's only 2.5 tenths of a second slower than Moggy on pole. So 1 second separating the top 9, really, almost top 10. 1 second separating the top 10, and then another second back to 1.84 seconds back to the Hunter. Connor now on an outlap. Can Connor put himself on pole in that Alfa Romeo? The target is a 1:29.3. He's on an outlap, so he's got some. He's got to go all the way around first. He's only going to get one shot at this, unless he's planning on doing 2 hot laps. He's only going to get one shot at getting this lap done, because it's a 1 minute 30 laps, 1.5 minutes, and he's off the racetrack. This is the problem with going out too late, is you can't put something on the board. You need to get out there, put something on, then come back in and just relax, chill out for a bit. If you don't want to do too many runs, you don't want to waste too many tyres, get one lap on the board, then go and chill out. But now, luckily he's on his out lap, so it won't ruin it too much. But if he doesn't set, if he has a problem in this next lap, and he doesn't set a time, he's back of the grid. And that'll be purely because he's chosen not to put in more than one hot lap. It's a minute and a half for that lap. He won't have enough time to get into the pits and get back out to do another hot lap. So he'll have to hope that he's got enough fuel on board to potentially do 2 hot laps, one after the other. That's the only real option that he's got. So here we go. The hot lap starts. Let's go on board and get involved with some of this. Into turn 1 he goes on those brakes. Gets turned in. Oh, a little bit wide of the apex there. Not ideal through there. Much better through turn 2 though. DRS wide open. Drink the first load. Heads round. Oh, stays on the power. Swoops round our right to the left. Could have clipped that curb a little bit better. I'm very overly critical for someone who's not very good at driving, am I? Listen, I can understand the process behind it. Doesn't mean I have to be good at doing it. That's why teachers are teachers, because they're not very good at doing the job. They teach people how to do it. Oh, he gets a little bit squirrely coming out of there. That's going to cost him some time. That's going to cost him quite a lot of time, because getting that car back under control, a few tenths there, that could be the difference between top and bottom half. And it's not looking super quick at the moment. I'm a bit concerned for him that it might not be the kind of lap he was hoping for. So heading down in sector 3, he's just got one more corner to go, and it's the final turn. On the brakes, 50 metre board, bang, get it turned in. That's a better apex. On the power he goes. He's got DRS, which will come to him right now. Heads to the line, and that is 7th, 1:30.2. Did rescue it a bit later on. You did the double here last season, Steve, did you? So, Moggy is, well, look, 29.3, he's on pole. He did the double last season, and he's just talked about it, which is going to get me talking about it. And you know what happens when the commentator starts talking about shit? Because it goes horribly wrong. So let's hope, for Moggy's sake, that it doesn't. But it could be double bubble for Moggy here. Could be double bubble. So there you go, qualified is done. It's Moggy from Crazy Dave. Good performance again. Those McLarens performing very well. 2nd and 3rd on the grid for Mad Max and Danny. Friendly Dutch gets himself 4th. We know that he's trying his whole Friendly Dutch. Harley in 5th. Luke DeVent in 6th. Is Harley still going quick out there? It's a little looky see if anyone's still going quickly. Friendly Dutch is still going quickly. It's going very quickly. Oh, dearie me.
You can't park that there, mate.
Awful. What happened there? Do you want to know what happened?
I crashed.
You crashed! How are you coming fast?
coming fast. Right, so Friendly Dutch is not going to improve his time. Leaving the Lieutenant Connors in the pits, he's not going to improve. Error coming across the line, is that an improvement? No, it's not. Ryan, one corner left, is he going to improve? Currently 130.3 on 11th, just outside that top 10. DRS open, crosses the line, and that is 6th. Great improvement from Ryan, puts himself onto the 3rd row in the Williams. So, final driver to finish, and his final action of the day is 6th place. So, Harley nicks pole right at the death with a 1:28.6. There's, I see your double, and I raise you, Harley, aloft like a trophy. All the better, mate, if you catch him. Get that way. Now you've got some slipstream. So we'll see. We will see what we will see. There's your pole sitter, Harley. Pole position for you. Right, there we go. So let's, that's a really creepy picture. Don't like it at all. So let's run through the entire qualifying session. Harley with the Alpine is on pole, joined on that front row by Moggy, who did the double here last year in Ferrari, but it's Aston Martin this time. Danny in the McLaren is split from his teammate by Dunners in the Ferrari. Mad Max in that McLaren in 5th. Ryan from Williams busted into 6th place lastminute.com. Friendly Dutch in the Alpha Tauri in 7th. Lutovent in the Haas in 8th. Riley in the Mercedes 9th. Connor in the Alfa Romeo in 10th. Wolsey in the Red Bull is 11th. The other Ferrari with error in it is 12th. Fingers in the Mercedes 13th. Cameron in the Alpine 14th. Becken in 15th. Mr. J in 16th. And there are some other drivers, but I'm too slow. It should wait till I've read it. Why can't it leave the screen up here while it's freaking loading? It's not affecting anybody by having the screen up there while it's loading, is it? No, of course not. Oh, word to developers of F1 2022. The developers of GT7 have recognised the need to return to using keyboard controls. So you can select the driver using a number on the keyboard, and you can do replays pressing a button on the keyboard, and you can change the camera views using a button on the keyboard. It's really much easier for people like that. So can you do that again for the PlayStation as well, please? Although I might, next time this game comes out, I'm seriously contemplating getting it on PC for crossplay purposes. So then I can do crossplay leagues. Well, I can do crossplay leagues anyway, but you know what I mean. Then I've got keyboard controls, so that'd be awesome. Right, so we've got 14 laps, followed by 28 laps. It's 14 laps, isn't it? Well, this ain't 40 laps, this is just a formation lap. And then it will be 14 laps. So, Harley from Moggy, Danny from Dunners, Mad Max and Ryan, Friendly Dutch and Ludvent, Riley and Connor, Wolsey and Error, Fingers and Cameron, Becken and Jay, and the Hunter, right at the back of the pack. It's a one-stop strategy, however you want to dress it up. And when the bit window comes up, I can do a really cool thing like, oh no, I haven't done it. I haven't set it up. Ignore me. I've got it on here, but I haven't got it on my buttons yet. But I can do that. Pit window open. Pit window closed. Pit window open. Pit window closed. Pit window open. Yeah, but I haven't set up on a button yet, so it's not ready. Right. I don't know why, but there's getting error messages today, which is unusual because my kit is boom shanker. So I'm getting a couple of error messages. Hopefully this is going on. Let me just check. I can actually check it's going out okay. Just by going onto YouTube quickly. It looks absolutely fine to me, my friend. Absolutely fine to me. Grey though, which is a bit odd. Hopefully it lasts out. So on the formation lap we are. And we'll see if Moggy can get back into the lead, having lost that pole position to Harley right to the death. Ryan as well chucking in a quick lap right to the death to push Wolsey out of the top 10. Fingers down in 13th. Did initially set himself quite a decent lap, a bit higher up, but couldn't improve on that lap through qualifying and finds himself down there. Unlucky for some. Sideways AlphaTauri for Lutvent. Can't park that there, mate. What is it? I said.
You can't park that there, mate.
You can't. And what do you think, Greta?
How dare you?
Sorry. Right, okay, let's go on board with Ryan. Set such a hot lap in quali. Let's see what he does from the start. Everyone's ready to go. Watch the lights come on ahead. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5 sets of lights. They're on. They'll go out, and we will be racing here at Bahrain. That was a little bit of a slow start for the Williams, and he may find Friendly Dutch coming at him, but he's not. He's lucky enough. Oh, Friendly Dutch going in very, very high into turn 1. My God, man. It's the pedal next to the loud one you need there. That was very, very lucky. Came in super, super hot into turn 1. Absolutely forgot that there was a braking zone there. He went full on Leroy Jenkins. That was insane.
I crashed. You crashed? How are you coming fast?
Because you weren't coming too fast. So, Harley does lead from Moggy. Moggy does not get that place back at the start. Danny in 3rd. Mad Max, however, awful start. And that is some sideways cars. We've got sideways. Loads and loads of sideways. It's all gone horribly, horribly wrong. It's turned from an F1 race into a Wreckfest online. Everybody's dead, Dave. Who's dead? They're all dead, Dave. Everybody's dead, Dave. So, Lutvent down 9 places. He crashed. Ryan down 10 places. He crashed. Connor down 3 places. He crashed. Mad Max down 7 places. It's not gone well for those 4 drivers. Everyone else has improved, bar the top 4. Harley leads from Moggy. Danny from Dunners. It's the D and the D. Danny and Dunners. Sitting in a tree. I'm joking, of course. I'm sure they just go to the park. Tyres. Harley's on the mediums. Moggy starts on the softs. He needs to get him, and he needs to get him now and get ahead. The 3 cars behind, all on medium compound tyres. If he wants starting on the softs to work for him, he's got to get up in front and start to build a lead over Harley. Absolute utmost importance for his race here. Or Harley could crash, and that would suit him just as well. But I'm sure he doesn't want to be the instigator of that particular shenanigan. So, lots of soft tyre runners actually. Only 5 drivers opting to start on the medium compound, which is an interesting choice because you're going to have to run. You run pretty much half the race on the softs, and then the other half will be on either the mediums or the hards, depending on how brave you are. I can't imagine anyone would want to run the hards if they didn't have to. The Hunter dropping down the order. So Harley leads from Moggy. Danny in 3rd. Dunners running in 4th place. Fastest lap goes to Harley with a 1:31.7. Friendly Dutch in 5th with Riley in 6th position. Wolsey just behind. 7/10 back in 7th. Fingers in 8th place. Error running in 9th. Mad Max in 10th. Connor is in 11th. Lutvent in 12th. Mr. J is running in 13th. The Hunter is in 14th. 15th is Ryan. Cameron is 16th. And Becken brings up the rear in 16th place. It doesn't anymore because Cameron goes back into 17th.